Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is morning's weather brief on Monday the 9th of May. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. We'll start by taking a summarised look at the mean surface temperatures across Europe. Between days 11 and 15 there is some model agreement and consistency from previous days, with temperatures to be either near or trending slightly below climate averages, particularly across central and eastern areas of Europe, including places like Switzerland, Austria and Italy for example. Between days 6 and 10 confidence levels are quite high, given very good model agreement and consistency for numerous days now for this period to be quite significantly cool across a large portion of Europe, as cool and predominantly unsettled conditions dominate the weather. Temperatures across many central and particularly western areas of Europe may be at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate averages. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, temperatures are forecast to be generally trending near or perhaps slightly above climate averages, particularly across central and southwestern areas of Europe, including Switzerland, France and Spain for example. We will now take a look at the United Kingdom in some closer detail, and over the next 2 to 5 days temperatures are forecast to be either near or slightly above average initially, but with high confidence for temperatures to then trend near or slightly below climate averages as cooler conditions dominate across the United Kingdom. Between the 6th and 10-day time period in particular, there is good or very good model agreement and hence high confidence to suggest that as we move towards the weekend of the 14th and 15th of May, temperatures are likely to be at least 2 or 3 degrees below a climate mean of around 12 degrees Celsius, as rather cool conditions dominate across the majority, if not all, of the United Kingdom. The following weather chart for Sunday the 15th of May helps to illustrate this situation, as high pressure to the west of the UK combines with low pressure to the northeast over Scandinavia to produce a cool northwesterly air mass across the United Kingdom, and I have high confidence to suggest that the middle of May in particular is likely to be quite cool, with temperatures trending slightly below climate averages. Within the longer term, between days 11 and 15, confidence levels remain medium or perhaps even medium to high, given that there is good model agreement and consistency, with temperatures to still be trending slightly below climate averages. However, they're only likely to probably be perhaps 1 or 2 degrees below climate norms, as somewhat milder conditions start to begin to develop across the United Kingdom. And finally, it should be noted that I do believe that the Metro model, as represented here by the solid black line, is likely to be a mild outlier at times, particularly during the start of the forecast period and also particularly towards the end of the forecast period. At the present time, given the other model agreement and consistency, I don't expect temperatures to be at least 1 or 2 degrees above climate averages towards and beyond mid-May, as represented by the Metro model at the present time. And now taking a look at the expected European temperatures, and between days 11 and 15, with the exception of some central and eastern areas of Europe where temperatures are forecast to be trending slightly below climate averages, the majority of Europe is forecast to have temperatures generally within 1 to 3 degrees of climate averages, and at the present time there is no signal for any extremes of temperature. The latest Austria model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation, and as you can see that within the longer term there is a signal, despite some model divergence over with regards to just how below climate average temperatures will be, that the majority of the forecast models do have temperatures trending at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages, and as a result I do expect that many central and eastern areas of Europe in particular are likely to have temperatures trending slightly below climate averages within the 11 to 15 day time frame. Between days 6 and 10 there is model agreement and consistency. As a result, confidence levels are medium to high, if not high, to suggest that this 6 to 10 day period is likely to be quite cool across many parts of Europe, but particularly across central and some western areas of Europe, where temperatures may trend at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate norms. Using the latest France model comparison graph as an example, you can see that there is very good model agreement for temperatures to trend at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages during and beyond the weekend of the 14th and 15th of May. This drop in temperature is in association with rather cool west or northwesterly winds, which are expected to dominate the weather across many central and western areas of Europe in particular between days 6 and 10. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, temperatures are forecast to be trending near or slightly above climate averages across many central and western areas of Europe, but only by around 1 or 2 degrees, and generally forecast to be near or just slightly below climate averages across eastern areas of Europe. During the 2 to 5 day period, there is little or no risk of any extremes of temperatures. And now taking a look at the precipitation forecast across Scandinavia, and over the next 7 to 14 days, precipitation totals are forecast to be generally above climate averages, particularly across central and western areas of Sweden, and also the majority of Norway. Unsettled conditions are forecast to dominate the weather here, and as a result precipitation totals in excess of 100mm are possible, which is at least 200% of normal. However, some northern areas of Scandinavia, including central and northern regions of Finland, may well be drier than climate averages, with precipitation totals less than 50 or 60mm. And now taking a look at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And starting with the United States, over the next 7 to 10 days or so, precipitation totals are forecast to be well above climate averages across many northern states in particular. Regions from the Pacific Northwest all the way across to the Great Lakes, precipitation totals in excess of 4 or 5 inches are possible, which is at least 300 to 400% of normal, as unsettled conditions dominate the weather. In contrast, well below average precipitation totals are forecast to continue across many areas of Australia over the next 7 to 10 days at least. Precipitation totals less than 25% of normal are expected quite widely across the country, with some places experiencing little or no measurable rainfall over the next 7 to 14 days. And finally, staying with Australia, there is a signal that over the next 7 to 10 days at least, temperatures are forecast to be trending below or well below climate averages, particularly across northern and eastern areas of the country in particular. Here, temperatures may be at least 40 to 6 degrees below climate averages, as rather cool, if not cold, conditions dominate the weather across the majority of Australia. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.